How many of us spend our days like this? We are absorbed in our own world, and we ignore the world around us. We are glued to our devices, and we see no purpose to interact with people around us. We believe that there's no purpose to talk to people around us, and who want to talk to us anyway? As such, we miss out on so many unique opportunities to have a special conversation with the people around us. Today, I'm here to persuade you on a topic that our mother warned you about, talking to strangers. So in the 2018 US Loneliness Index, the study showed that 46% of Americans felt lonely sometimes or all of the time. And 43% of Americans felt isolated from society. This problem is especially severe among the youth, among those in Generation Z and Millennials. And this shows that there's an urgent need for the modern society to be more connected. And I believe we can take the first step by interacting with strangers. Well, the first question that most of you may ask is, how does talking to strangers benefit me? Research published in the Social Psychological and Personal Science Journal show that interaction with strangers can actually improve your mood. So the researchers gave people $5 Starbucks vouchers, and for one group of people, they instructed them to have a genuine conversation with the cashier, while for the other group, they were instructed to get their coffee as efficiently as possible. The researchers found that actually the group that had a conversation with the cashier reported improved mood and were more cheerful. This shows that talking to strangers can actually improve our own well-being. The next time that you are feeling a little down, why don't you take the time to look around and interact with the people around you, rather than just mindlessly scrolling through the social media feed. So not only does talking to strangers improve your mood, it may actually broaden your horizon. A lot of us are stuck with the same group of people who share the same ideas and the same mindset. I'm not saying that you shouldn't hang out with your friends, but I believe that once in a while we can take the step to interact with new people so that we are exposed to new perspectives, which gives us a more complete understanding of the world around us. We may be astounded by their life stories, which gives us more ideas and inspiration on how to live our own lives. Talking to strangers is a signal that we are open to the world, that we are receptive to people and new ideas. Life is an adventure, and who knows where life may take you if you simply take the first step to engage with the world around you. So far, I've been discussing about how talking to strangers may benefit you, but how about the other party? What does the other person gain? A famous Greek philosopher, Aristotle, once said that man is by nature social animals. So it doesn't matter if you are introverts or extroverts, all of us desire that social connection that we have with others. And we face negative consequences if we are removed from that connection. A study published in the Royal Society stated that perceived social isolation can lead to mental issues and also physical problems. Mental issues include depression and poor sleep quality, and physical problems may include impaired immunity. Personally, I volunteer with the elderly that stay in one-room rental flats, and I find that if they suffer from mental illnesses such as depression, many of the time it's because of social isolation and because they stay in their house all the time. There's a German phrase, "wie Luft behandelt," which means to be looked at as though air. Now, how many times in our day have we looked at another person as though they were air? By talking to strangers, we acknowledge their intrinsic value, that they are interesting just as they are. We play a small part in helping them feel that they are not in a society whereby they are facing walking mannequins, but actual people that they can interact with and have a connection to. Now, I asked some of you in the audience analysis on why you don't talk to strangers more, and these are some of your replies, such as rejection, shy, weird in certain situations. So based off of your response, I thought that I might give you guys some tips on how to have better conversations with strangers. So the first step is always to overcome that fear, the initial hurdle of making that conversation. And you may find that once you pass the initial hurdle, it may get easier and not as difficult as you thought. And moving on, many of you ask like, what should I say to a stranger? What's the first thing I should say when I know absolutely nothing about the other person? So what you could say is something interesting about him or her. So let's say if you notice like they have a pet, you could say like, hey, nice dog. What breed is it? I'm thinking of getting a dog myself. Do you think I should adopt one or buy one from the breeding farm or something? Or if let's say you see them with an interesting accent, you could just point it out or like say something like, hey, interesting accent. Have you been in Singapore for long? Maybe I can bring you around to bring you to some local food or some restaurants. Yeah, and if let's say you are in a social context whereby you and other person are supposed to engage with, then it becomes much easier. You can simply say, hi, I don't think I've met you yet. My name is whatever your name is. So the next step is to move past small talk, which is to say, ask them about themselves, their personal opinions about certain issues. So if let's say you ask them about themselves, you could say like, hey, what do you study? What area of work are you engaging in? What is your interest? What fills you with passion and what motivates you? And if let's say it's something you want to ask them about their opinion, you could ask them, if let's say it's a foreigner, you could say, how do you find the difference in cultures between Singapore and a foreign country? And how do you find the food here and how does it compare to the ones back home? So moving on, we could find commonalities between us and the stranger. So we could say let's say you are in the other person is wearing like a football jersey. You could find commonalities and talk about like your interest in football or whatever that you find interesting. And lastly, if you feel comfortable with the other person, you can start to be more open and more vulnerable to the other person. And if the other person reciprocates, and that's when the magic happens and you have a real connection. So you could say something like, I've just been in university for a few months and it's been really difficult to make friends. And finally, we have to observe the social context. What works in a Western society might not work in the Asian society. And we have to be mindful of the body language to see when to continue with a conversation and when to stop that conversation. I understand that there may be some days that you may be feeling just too worn out. And in those days, a simple greeting will do. A study published in 6 journals showed that even acknowledging another person can improve their social connectedness. To summarize, talking to strangers can improve your own mood and broaden your own horizon. It can improve others through social connectedness. And it can improve society by making the society more cohesive and compassionate. With that being said, I would like to pose all of you a challenge, which is to talk to a stranger each day for the next 7 days. Thank you.